Hey, what's going on, everybody? I've got another iPhone 17 Pro Max case video for you. Today, just the other day, I showed you guys the new TechWoven Apple cases for the iPhone 17 Pro and Pro Max, and I showed those to you in sienna and blue, and I speak a little bit more about the sort of the material and how it feels. And I put them on some iPhone 17 Pro Max dummies in the blue and orange colors. So you can check out that video if you want to hear more about that. However, I will show them to you again in this video. In total, I have 3 different colors for you in the TechWoven case to show you today, and I've got 4 in the silicone case range for the iPhone 17 Pro Max. Now, I want to apologize in advance because I tried to get my hands on the green TechWoven case, and for some reason the delivery date was later and I wanted to get this video out. I swung by my local Apple store today because it said that it had some in stock online, but they told me that since it wasn't on the floor, I couldn't go into the store and buy it. So I double checked. I said, you mean to tell me you have them in stock in the store, but I can't buy it? I've got to order it online? They said yes. And I said, now how long would it take to pick that up? They said a few hours. Didn't make much sense to me. Unfortunately, I had to go back to work, and normal person with stuff to do, and I don't get these sent to me by these companies. I pay for them with my own money. So apologies for not having the green one, but I hope fitting these cases in these different iPhone colors for you can at least help you with your purchase decision a little bit, hopefully more than a little bit. So this is going to be a pretty straightforward video. I'm just going to fit these different colors on the 3 iPhone colors here. These are not like one-for-one copies, these dummy models, but they're pretty darn close. So it should give you a really good idea of how these cases are going to look in the iPhone colors you're thinking of ordering. So let's get started with the silicone cases. And the colors I have in this case for you today are the purple, and it's called Purple Fog. I've got this orange one here, and it is called Orange, appropriately enough. I've got the dark blue one here, which is called Midnight, sort of a navy blue. And I've got this sort of brownish, sienna-ish color here that is called Terracotta. I'm going to start with the Purple Fog here. So let's open this one up. And as always, like every single year pretty much, you've got this pull tab. You've got a little bit about the case on the back. You've got a picture of the case you bought in the color you bought. And on the sides here, it is blank. So open this up. And we've got our beautiful Purple Fog silicone case. And first impressions here, it looks and feels like the silicone cases do every single year. You've got this camera housing, this protective camera housing here in a darker version of the case color that you got. The buttons are the exact same color as the case, and you've got a slightly darker Apple logo here on the back. My personal preference are full grain leather cases, and I'm going to wait till about October when we've got the best fitting third-party leather cases out for retail. So let's start with the silver, some call it white, iPhone 17 Pro Max here. The official color is silver. And again, these are dummy models. I'd make that very clear in the titles, descriptions, etc. And this is, you can't miss with the silver white iPhone just because it's going to match everything. And it does that yet again here. Here is the Purple Fog. Here's how it looks from the back. From the sides, you pretty much just see the case anyway. And here's how it looks on the bottom. I said this in my previous video. I like the cases that are going to be completely open here, just because you get a little bit more color and color contrast here. People are going to see the color of iPhone you got and how it contrasts with the case. So while I wasn't crazy about the new design, the new look of the iPhone Pro and Pro Max, I actually think the design is perfect for cases. And this is as somebody who previously oftentimes liked to use their phone without a case, if it wasn't a leather case, for example. But it's a nice look here, the Purple Fog on the white/silver, officially called silver, iPhone 17 Pro Max. Let's check it out on the blue iPhone. And here we've slipped it onto this blue iPhone 17 Pro Max dummy model here. And one thing to point out, as I'm sure you all know, the finish around the camera housing here is a brushed aluminum, not polished or anything. So what they did get wrong on these dummy models is that they kind of have a shiny finish here on the dummies, but of course in real life it is a matte finish because it's a brushed aluminum. But the color is basically a one-for-one match. So this should give you a great idea. This is the blue with the Purple Fog. Nice little contrast there. They match very well. You can tell it's two different colors, but it's, you know, just two colors that are, I don't know, they go well together. They're not necessarily in the same family, but purple and blue have always been a match. I'll try to hold it at this angle here. Probably gives you the best idea of how it's going to look. No shining, no reflecting. You can see that color on this iPhone dummy and the purple fog silicone case. Quick look at the bottom, and you see that blue aluminum. It's going to contrast with the purple. Hard to adequately test like the buttons and all that when it is not the official phone, which is not out yet. But I can tell you that they feel perfectly clicky. The placement is perfect for the dummy models, which tells me they're going to be perfect for the real thing, of course. You've got a camera control button here as well. I don't know about you guys. I really didn't use the camera control button much. I mean, it was cool to launch the camera from it. You've got an action button as well. But if you do use it, you've got a camera control button included on these cases. Let's see how this case looks on the beautiful, probably most popular color here. Even though they're all nice, they're all great. The blue's great. But probably going to be the most popular color this year, maybe because it's the most different. It is the orange. Purple fog on the orange iPhone 17 Pro Max. Of course, this is just going to keep reiterating that it is a dummy model. What do you guys think here? I think this might actually be a fairly popular combination. Maybe not the most popular, I don't know. But this is going to be one that people do definitely pick up. What we call this one? We call this the Clemson. Is this the Clemson combination? I know Clemson is orange and purple, mostly orange. Yeah, I think it looks great. And if you're getting multiple cases, this at least has to be in consideration for one of the cases you get and put into the rotation if you're getting the orange iPhone 17 Pro or Pro Max. All right, up next, we're going to try the terracotta silicone case. See how it looks on these three iPhone 17 Pro Max colors. Terracotta out of the box. What do you guys think here? It's almost a kind of a cross between sienna and maybe that old saddle brown. But of course, it's in a silicone finish here, not leather, and not TechWoven. Really nice case color though, nonetheless. And I think this is going to go again with all three colors in the iPhone 17 Pro and Pro Max this year. Once again, we'll begin with the white or silver. Here's how that looks. It's kind of a leather color look. Of course, you're not going to mistake silicone for leather, but I think of leather mostly when I see this color on a case. Sides for you. See how it looks on the bottom. So that's the terracotta on the white silver iPhone 17 Pro Max. Up next, I'm going to put it on the orange actually. Let's see how that looks. You know, I think if I'm going silicone, even though this can go, I'm either probably going to do the midnight or the orange, though I do think I prefer one of the TechWoven cases, the blue one especially on this, which we'll see later on. Here's how that looks. Terracotta silicone case on the orange iPhone 17 Pro Max dummy model. And finally, for the terracotta, we've got the blue, the deep blue iPhone 17 Pro Max dummy model here, which I think is a really nice match for this terracotta silicone case. I like this contrast, man. I don't know, the older I get, the more I kind of like the contrast of certain browns, especially orangey browns, with different shades of blue here. Definitely goes very well together, and I think this should be a consideration for you. If you're going with the deep blue iPhone 17 Pro or Pro Max, I think you should consider either the Sienna TechWoven, which we'll look at, or this terracotta silicone case. On the bottom, all right, up next we're going to do the orange silicone case here. Open that up. Same way as the others, of course. And out of the box, it's a nice bright orange here. A true orange. It is on the bright side, but I don't think you need to really qualify the orange with any prefix or any other word or name. It's just straight up orange, this case. On your silver, technically, or at least officially, iPhone 17 Pro Max, here's how the orange looks. Kind of an orange sherbet sort of deal over here. It's brighter than orange sherbet, but for some reason the white with it reminded me of that orange sherbet case. And this is how this looks back, on the sides here. Got a nice little lip here, by the way, that's going to protect the phone a little bit. I mean, it's not going to be like super OtterBox type of protection, but you get a sleeker case in part for the look and to get, you know, a decent amount of protection. And you can put the phone face down and you're not going to have any issues, of course, with these cases. A little orange on orange action here, and almost a perfect match here. It's probably going to be a perfect match on the official phone, but it's really, really close here. Orange on orange. For me, that's a little bit too much orange. I would get this orange silicone case if I had the blue iPhone 17 Pro Max on the way. I think that's a great, you know, contrast and combination. I really feel like that's the best color that this orange is made for. But you can go all orange. Absolutely. Why not? If you love orange, you love Halloween, for example, what have you. It's definitely the season for orange if you were going to get it. On the sides. And finally, the iPhone color. I personally think this orange case looks best on, and that's going to be the blue with the orange silicone here. And that's a nice combination. This also can be called the Denver Bronco combination, just like the other way around in the other video we had. The blue TechWoven on the orange iPhone. We called it the Denver Bronco combo. This one can qualify as the same thing. Or maybe you call one of them the Boise State Bronco combo. It's the same colors anyway. What do you guys think? I know a lot of you are going to be getting this combination, or at least something similar, where it's the blue iPhone and one of these orange or sienna cases probably. On the bottom here. Yeah, that looks real nice. And our last silicone case here that we're going to take a look at, it is the Midnight, which you would think means more of a black, but it's a navy blue, very deep blue. I'm not going to say it's super far away from black, but and maybe it's slightly brighter on camera. Can't really tell. It's a very dark blue. It's a true navy blue, in my opinion. And of course, you hear some colors be labeled, you know, navy blue when they're a little bit too light to really be a navy blue. A true navy blue is a very dark blue, classically, and that's what I think this color most closely reflects. So let's see how this looks. And by the way, these cases have a really nice microfiber lining inside, on the edges, and on the back. And you see where the MagSafe magnets are. And it says down here, a little bit hard to read, but it says designed by Apple in California, and it says assembled in Thailand. On our silver iPhone 17 Pro Max, this is how the Midnight case is going to look. Here on the bottom. Can't really see any of the phone on the top. Checking out the Midnight on that deep blue iPhone 17 Pro Max. Again, almost a 1-for-1 match here. If you really like blue, you really like dark blue, for example, then this is certainly one of the combinations you should be considering. It's a really sleek color. Of course, there's no black this year, so this is probably the stealthiest look you're going to be able to get in the Pro and Pro Max lineup. Either the TechWoven blue with this or this Midnight. And the Midnight is a little bit darker than the TechWoven blue, which we will see in a second. Bottom here. And finally, probably, in my opinion anyway, the best color, that this Midnight blue, which, I mean, you can't go wrong. This is going to match any of these three colored iPhones. But I think my favorite is this Midnight blue. At least my favorite phone, to pair with the Midnight blue is the orange. Here's how that looks. From the bottom, you see that orange aluminum, which I know it's just a little cutout here, but it contrasts real nicely with the case, even from the bottom. And these cutouts here on the edges are, of course, for that new lanyard that Apple is releasing as an accessory. All right, we got through our silicone cases here, and up next we've got the black TechWoven, and that's the name of the color officially. It's just straight up black. Out of the box, I can tell you that it can pass for black, but it's more of a very dark gray. It's definitely no true black. It's definitely not a jet black or anything like that. It's yeah, it's almost like a charcoal color, a graphite color. Don't get me wrong, it's real nice, but I wouldn't quite call it black. Let's see how it looks on these three iPhones. We'll start again with the silver / white. And I think on the real deal, this is going to look slightly more silver than white. So I think this is actually going to contrast very, very nicely. It's going to be, a pretty minimalist look for sure. Devoid of color, really. It's going to be a light silver and this really dark gray. But that's a fantastic combination. And again, the TechWoven, there are similarities with the fine woven for sure. If you run your fingers on it, it's going to remind you a bit of the fine woven. But there's something about it. The weaves or whatever just feel a little bit tougher on these. Almost like there's a coating on it, or just that it's a little bit tougher, maybe more resistant to things like stains and fingerprints. Only time will tell. Don't know if I'm going to run with the TechWoven full time, but here's how it looks in various angles. Again, this black TechWoven case, really not a true black at all. In fact, you can even see that the buttons are darker than the case. And once again, on the edges here of this TechWoven case, it is not just a uniform sort of silicone or TPU. It's textured. Might be difficult to see on the camera here, but it is a little bit textured. It's like just a finer version of the material on the back. At least that's what it looks like and feels like to me. And here's that black TechWoven case on the blue iPhone 17 Pro Max dummy model. A couple of you were asking about this combination, so it sounds like there's going to be a few people trying this one. I think it's fine. I don't think it's the best one, but it's not bad because it's going to be kind of like a deep blue with a really, really dark gray. And that's a really good combination in theory. Check it out from the bottom here. On the front, there you have it. The black TechWoven and the blue iPhone 17 Pro Max. And last color for the black TechWoven case. We've got it here on the orange. Don't really see much of the orange from the front. It's an extremely thin line here. You probably can't even catch on camera. But here's how it looks on the back. And this combination is pretty good. Probably, I don't know. I don't know if I like this more or if I like how it looks on the silver as far as the black case goes. But certainly a look you can't really go wrong with. Black and orange. We'll call this one the Halloween combo. Why not? Since we don't have a black iPhone to pair with an orange case, we'll do the orange iPhone and one of the black cases for the Halloween combination 2025. On the bottom, all right, y'all, 2 cases to go here. I already showed these to you on these phones in my last video, but just for convenience sake, here we go again. We'll do the Sienna TechWoven case, which I think is a really nice case. And if I'm getting the blue iPhone 17 Pro or Pro Max, this might be my top option as far as Apple cases go. Again, I prefer leather myself. I know leather isn't for everybody, but I really like this one as well. So this is probably going in the rotation if I'm getting the blue one. I'm actually incidentally going with the orange, but it wasn't an easy decision because I really liked both colors. And this is how it looks on the silver. Cannot go wrong. Of course it matches. The Sienna TechWoven case on the silver iPhone 17 Pro Max dummy model. Just a note here, the area that has the cutouts for the lanyard, that looks like a plastic, looks like a different material than the rest of the edge of the case. You can probably see that on camera. The Sienna TechWoven on the orange iPhone 17 Pro Max. This is how that combination is going to look when you get your phone. Now, this was a mixed bag as far as the comments go on that other video. You had some people saying this was fire. You had a couple that didn't like it. I mean, I think this particular color was made specifically for the orange and the blue, and I think, I mean, they picked it carefully because it goes with both colors pretty well. So I think this is a really nice combination, actually. My favorite with this would be the blue, but the orange is really nice with it as well. In fact, the leather color I get with my orange will be something probably resembling this. On the bottom, set it on the table here, see how that looks. And on the blue iPhone 17 Pro Max. If you're getting the blue phone, wondering what color to pair with it, this should definitely be one you consider. Obviously, this stuff is subjective. In my opinion, as far as Apple cases go, this might be the number one I consider. Either this or the orange silicone. Maybe you get both. With this blue phone, that's just my opinion. Love this combination right here. That's how it looks on the bottom. Let's set this down on the table, see how it looks. And finally, last case for you today, the blue TechWoven. And just to double check once again, it is officially called blue, and it is a lighter color than the Midnight silicone case, just by a little bit. Some in the comments were asking me if it's a lighter or darker case. No, it definitely leans more dark. Of course, it's, you know, just because of the nature of the materials on this TechWoven case, when it's reflecting off of direct sunlight, which is the lighting being used for this video, I'm right in front of a window, then yeah, it'll look a little bit lighter in some light. But hey, that contrast I think is kind of fun. It doesn't look the same all the time at every angle, but it's definitely a darker blue to answer that question, just not as dark as the Midnight silicone case. So let's see how this looks on the silver. I know I say this about every case that I put on this color phone, but once again, you can't go wrong with it. Got any number of teams that are blue and white or blue and silver, so pick your favorite blue and white or blue and silver team, and that's what combination this one is. Bottom, we'll place this one on the table for a sec. And now for some blue on blue action over here. We've got the blue TechWoven, and we've got the blue iPhone 17 Pro Max dummy model here. And again, just like we said with the Midnight, if blue is your thing, if you like a dark blue, this is probably one of the two combinations you need to be considering. One of the stealthier combinations, since there's no black iPhone this year, no graphite. Here's how that looks on the table. And finally, we've got the blue TechWoven once again on the orange iPhone 17 Pro Max. I called this the Denver Broncos combo in my other video. I mean, if there are many other blue and orange teams, dark blue and orange especially, you can name it after that. But point is, this is a beautiful, beautiful combination. And this is probably the combo I'm going to be starting with until I end up getting a leather case or two. I'm probably going to go blue TechWoven, maybe Midnight, because I'm ordering the iPhone 17 Pro Max in orange. And by the way, I'm going to have more videos. I'm going to unbox this phone on launch day, the real iPhone 17 Pro Max, and just going to continue my coverage. So get subscribed so you don't miss out on any of that. I'm going to have links in the description to where you can pick these cases up as well. Once again, I apologize for not having the green case and the TechWoven, but if this video helped your purchase decision at all, I'd really appreciate a thumbs up. It's a big, big help. Once again, like I said, I get all these products myself. They don't get sent to me. So yeah, that can add up a little bit when you're trying to run your own channel. But that's that, everybody. 4 of Apple's official silicone case colors here, 3 of the TechWoven. Let me know what combination you like the best, and I'm also curious which iPhone you're going to be getting and what case. Until next time, guys, I'll see you in the next one.